Hey there, planners. Today I'm going to be showing you a little family bullet journal that I put together to solve some organization and communication problems in my house. So with that, go grab your planners and let's get planning. So my family has used every type of organization, planning, calendar system available. We had a family command center at one point in time. We've used a wall calendar. We've even tried some family apps like Cozy, other shared calendar apps that we could put things on, and we have just struggled. And so really, I was looking for a solution, something to physically put on the counter in our kitchen. It's kind of on the way out the door that we use most frequently. And what I needed was a place to capture all the family activities, group activities as well as individual activities, any groceries that we need, because that seems to be a difficult thing to keep straight and keep us all on the same page with what we need, as well as just a place to leave some information for each other. I had this extra notebook laying around. This is a Scribbles That Matter bullet journal. It is an A5 size. It has 160 GSM. It's really a nice, these are really, really nice notebooks. I'm a huge fan of Scribbles That Matter. And I thought, you know, I had used just a couple of pages in the front for something else, but then I had the entire notebook available, and I thought, you know, this might be the answer. So I started to set up the bullet journal very simply. I'm using a monthly calendar and then 2 additional 2-page spreads each month. And I've put some decoration, washi tape, other things like that. I've also gone ahead and plugged in anything that I know that's happening. Now, I am starting in March because we do have a physical calendar sitting in the spot that I'm thinking this will live in our kitchen that ends in February. So I want this to be able to pick right up in March, and we keep going with it. But the idea here is leave this open on the counter, which is good for the A5 size because it doesn't take up a lot of real estate. Now we have a big counter, and there's a nice corner that we all sort of put things on, and is somewhat serving as a communication point already. The idea is that this would just sit right there, and then as things come in or things get scheduled, we can jot them in here. So I have a calendar space. Now this calendar is actually a printable. It's one of my favorites. If you've watched any of my monthly plan with me's, you know where this is from. This is Scattered Squirrel. These do come in colorful. I print them in black and white, but they are fantastic calendars, and I highly recommend Scattered Squirrel, not only for this calendar, but for many of the printables. I will leave this linked in the description box below. So I've got this. I also added some tabs, and you can see the monthly tabs here on the side. I got these off Amazon. These are really good price. There were a bunch of options, and it came in a pack of, I believe, 4 sets of monthly tabs. The next spread is really about keeping track of things we need. So I have a hard time remembering, and I often get told sort of in passing, hey mom, I need such and such. And I'm supposed to remember that because I'm supposed to remember everything. And that doesn't always work out, and I end up forgetting a lot of things. So I have just titled these pages, Food We Need, Non-Food We Need. And I've put a few sticky notes here so that we can fill it up during the month as needed, tear off what we don't need. And, you know, I can take this to the store. I can go reference this if I'm about to, you know, place an order somewhere. If, you know, I'm looking for ideas of things to pick up, this is a great place to do that. And then the last spread I just titled Family Notes. So I think this will be a very interesting spread. My family does leave a lot of notes to each other because our schedules are very busy. We're in passing quite a bit, and it's a great way to communicate. But I also think it's really neat to be able to look back on some of those. And so, you know, just notes like, hey, I'm going here, or I'll be back by this time, as well as, hey, I'm super proud of you for, you know, what you did this week, and those type of notes. My oldest daughter is about a year and a half away from graduating from high school and going off to college, and part of me is feeling a bit nostalgic and wanting to capture all the little moments of, the entire family unit living under the same roof together. So that's kind of what I have imagined for this spread. Now, it may not end up getting used at all, or it may end up getting used very little, or it may be completely filled up and we have to add additional sticky notes to it. I'm not quite sure. So that's the general setup. Here's April. Same thing. I have the monthly calendar spread laid out here with things that I know that are happening and when they're happening, and then non-food and food we need, and then again a family notes page. And so I'll just flip through so you can see the rest of the setup and kind of how it's decorated, but you'll notice it's very minimal. I kept this as minimal as possible because it's really a functional tool for us. But I think it's going to be a great way for us to communicate and also have something physical that I keep and look back on. So that's where I stopped with the setup. I went through December. I have plenty of room to keep going here if I'd like to, and if this is a tool that works for the family. There's also some other handy items, like there's a pocket folder in the back of the Scribbles That Matter where we can stick anything we need. So I am really hoping that this solves the problem and that we find a lot of value out of this, and that we also enjoy using it. I would be very interested to hear from you all. What are you using to kind of keep your whole house organized? I know there's a lot of folks who use, apps, online tools that allow all the family members to add things in as they come. I'm interested in, have you tried those? Is that the tool that works for you and your family? I'd love to hear about that. If not, if you're using a physical tool, what is the physical tool that you're using? And, is it a good tool? Would you recommend it? So I'd love to hear that in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I hope you got some value out of this video. And as always, subscribe to Plannin' Annie for more content like this. Thanks for planning with me.